Here we are then. Right, let's have a look. It's not looking too bad. The tackiness has gone now with the saddle soap. This metalwork still needs some more attention, so we'll do that. But I'm not unhappy with it at all, and it feels nice. It looks a lot cleaner. So, right, first of all, as I did say, we'll keep doing this, and one more application of the old magic wadding will not hurt a bit, because where the plate's already off it, it'll still clean it, shine it up a little bit more. I was talking about rules earlier, and I'm not of the opinion that rules are made to be broken. Don't get me wrong. They're there for a purpose, but they're not always wisely thought out, and they're certainly not always in the best interests of the people to whom they are applied. But it's being able to see that, to see the difference, and to work out whether something's being done for your benefit or to benefit other people at your expense. And it's always worth employing a degree of critical thinking if you can. And I appreciate fully that not everyone can do that. I said there were 8 pieces of metal on this. I was wrong, wasn't there? There are 10. I missed out these 2 little pivoting studs here that allow the thing to open. Anyway, we'll give that a few minutes to work in. In the meantime, I'll tell you about this. This is a leather conditioner. It is slightly runnier than the stuff that I used before, than the hide food. It's lanolin, less beeswax and linseed oil in this one. It won't do it any harm, and I'll apply it very gently with a cloth. It cleans it and conditions it, and you can buff it up to a shine. It's not the final treatment that we'll do, but it'll certainly help. Now, first of all, let me just clean the polish off this. Doesn't take very long at all. You can see it's come up fairly nicely, but just not like it's brand new. But of course it isn't brand new. There we go. Now, before I start that, there is a little something I'd like to do with this stuff, and I'm sure you all know about Vaseline. This lock is perfectly good and it does work perfectly well, but I want it to continue to work perfectly well, and so I'm going to drive as much of this Vaseline into the mechanism as I possibly can to make sure that that continues to be the case at every level. This is really marvellous stuff. It protects against water as well as lubricating it. And I'm even going to dip the key in it and push all that around a little bit just to make it more protected. There we go. And I've got, for some reason, 4 of these keys now. There weren't any when I bought the bag. I bought another bag more expensively, and it had got a pair of keys in it, but they didn't fit the briefcase that I'd bought, but they did fit this one, so I was just lucky there. You rarely need to lock one of these. It's a bit of a gimmick really, because if somebody wanted to get in, they'd just take a Stanley knife or something and cut the leather, but I like to have it complete and whole, and as it was when it was new. So form and function, you see, that function is something that I like. Things doing what they're supposed to do. I've always been like that. I like things to fulfill their original function. Right, that's done. So much for that. Now we'll have a different cloth to apply this with. Let's see what a difference it makes. There. It might appear to darken it at first, but that'll soon dry. Isn't that nice? And while we're doing this, the whole world can carry on outside as it always has. Things will be happening, good and bad, that you don't know about, you don't need to know about. It's just us in here and this briefcase. And some nice, gentle repetition. If you try and paint a picture or build a wall or I don't know, bake a cake, anything. First time you do it, it will not be as good as the 10th time that you do it. And when you've done it 100 times, it'll be getting somewhere. I took up baking bread some years ago, and the first couple of attempts were frankly awful. But do you know what I did? I followed the rules. I found a recipe book, someone who knew more than me and had been doing it for a lot longer than me wrote it down. I also visited a local artisan bakery and picked their brains, and they told me exactly how to do it. And I did it my way, but with most of the advice that they had given me, and to be honest, I was pleased with the results, and so was anyone who tasted the bread, so that was worth doing. It's a lot of work. I mean, it'll take you all day. If I decide to do a batch of baking, of bread baking, and I sometimes do, not quite as often now, but I sometimes do, it's all day because you're waiting for the dough to prove for a lot of that time. And then having proved it, whatever the past tense of that particular use of the verb is, having done that, you knock it back, that means you knead it again, and then you allow it to prove a second time. Some people do it even 3 times, maybe more, but I'm not quite as keen as that to do it. It worked the first time I tried it, so I've stuck to what I know, really. There are still improvements that could be made, but I can bake a pretty mean loaf of bread now. And a lot of that is sticking to the correct measurements. My dear wife is a fabulous cook, and she measures very little. She throws it all in handfuls, but she's been doing it for so long now that she knows what each constituent ingredient will do and why it's there, and understands things a lot more than I do in that regard, and is a really good cook. Bread I can do, because I measure the stuff out, make sure it's accurate and proved for as long as it needs to be, and it makes a decent loaf. Then I look at that, that's the conditioner on it. Now I'll take another cloth and I'll just buff it, but this isn't the last treatment, as I've said. We've Vaseline that lock up, cleaned the brass work, or the brass plated work. You might not even tell very much difference this time from the first time I showed you when we got here, but that doesn't matter. There. And I think we'll call that a day. Come back and see me tomorrow for probably, I think, the final time on this briefcase, but we've got lots more to do. So hope you join me. Thank you for watching. Bye bye for now.